your soybean crop rapidly advancing, UNL Extension plant pathologist Loren Giesler says now is a good time to look at foliar fungicide applications in soybeans, which can not only help control disease, but may also provide an added benefit.
Well, right now, a lot of our fields are really earlier than last year. So R3 right at pod set is the time that we talk about recommending fungicides if you're going to use them. And we're, about 3 weeks ahead in a lot of our sites. We've already sprayed a couple locations, earlier this week for R3 applications.
Now you say that it's a twofold benefit, and one of them is yield. We'll get to that in a second, but first the disease itself. What areas are you looking at?
Well, when we're looking at our foliar fungal diseases that we have in soybeans in Nebraska, the primary one that we see across the state is going to be brown spot. Now, brown spot's the one that causes that lower canopy to yellow and defoliate early, and varieties will vary a lot in their sensitivity to it. The other one that we see is frog eye leaf spot. Now, frog eye is the one that will typically show up higher in the canopy. It'll be a nice circular spot with a dark margin, kind of gray center. And as the leaves become more mature, they're less susceptible to the disease. So that's why we'll see it up in the canopy as the plant continues to mature. Both of these are diseases that our fungicides are going to do a good job of managing.
Common this year?
As far as commonness this year, when we're looking at this, as dry as it's been, I really don't expect to see a lot in our irrigated fields, though. We would typically see that. And in the next week, we have some forecasts for some rain. So as we see rains coming in and things, we'll see more of this disease. Now, most of the times our fungal diseases, though, we don't see them at an economic damaging level. So there are other benefits that producers have recognized from making fungicide applications, though. And with that, a lot of times when we're looking at an application with a strobilurin fungicide, which all the main marketed products are going to have, that's where they pick up some yield advantage that, they refer to as many things, plant health response, yield enhancement, however we look at it. But the fungicides have definitely been shown to be able to increase that yield in absence of disease.
And you're seeing that yourself. You did some trials during last year's soybean management field days.
Yeah, so one of the parts last year at our soybean management field day series was to look at these. And we looked at fungicides and then fungicides with that company's insecticide partner. And in general, the average, and we look at the yields, we saw about 2.1 bushel per acre with just the fungicide application. And when we put that insecticide partner in there, we saw 4.1 bushel per acre. So it's definitely a practice that a lot of people are using, and it's one that can definitely be profitable. The only problem I have with it, it's not really an IPM strategy. So as a university scientist, you struggle with that. But the bottom line is for our producers to make money.
So what do you say when they ask if they should do it then?
Well, mostly I encourage people to try it. And if they haven't, to look at it. A lot of people that have done it, they're continuing to do it. You'll definitely talk to some people that will not because they haven't had success with it maybe that they felt. But I would leave some check strips if you haven't done this. Try the applications, and then look and see how it works for you in your operation. That's the key.
Bushels per acre you're looking at possibly for yield increase?
Well, when we talk about just a fungicide, 2.1, and then when we're looking really across the region when trials have been done, I've seen, an average of about 1.7 to 2.3, and those are a lot of trial data that we've looked at. And we know that when we have disease, we're going to see more yield increase. So in my trials, I had about 53 comparisons. A couple years ago, we'd have, about another almost half bushel if we had disease present. So any fields that are yellowing, any fields that have frog eye, and we have a susceptible variety, that R3, early R4, at the latest, really optimum time to put that on.
Soybean management field days will be held August 14th through the 17th at Lexington, O'Neill, Platte Center, and David City. Among other things, you'll be able to learn more about foliar fungicide trials and other seed treatment evaluations.